2017 has loads of games. Resident Evil 7, For Honor, Zelda, Days Gone, probably, Horizon, Zero Dawn, Mass Effect Andromeda, Sea of Thieves, God of War, the new one, Destiny 2, probably, Shenmue 3, some kind of new Call of Duty, Red Dead Redemption 2, Ghost Recon, Wildlands, and loads more. What about those games that don't get as much attention? Do they deserve the attention? Yes, and that's why we've listed some here for your perusal. So here's 10 lesser-known games coming out in 2017 we are excited about. Some you may have heard about, some you probably haven't heard about. Either way, sit down, relax, shut up, and watch. Thank you. First up, we have Below, a roguelike, action-adventure-y, platformy, survival-y game featuring striking 2D landscapes to explore with a Zelda-like vibe. This game has been in development for a long time, and it's about time it was bloody released because I want to play it. The magical and mysterious look of this game tickles my fantasy pickle, and I can see myself enjoying getting lost in the deep, dark below.
This game is called Rime. Visually quite similar to Zelda, kind of Wind Waker in terms of the blocky colour shading and cartoony style, but it's a technique I'm very fond of. It's a single-player puzzle adventure where a young whelp of a lad is trapped on a mysterious island and he needs to escape. It looks like a lovely fantasy journey adventure with cute little animalia and some rather less cute little horrible skull demon birds and some weird eyeball robots with legs. Lovely graphics, good looking animations and environments. Delightful.
Listen, I love horror. Yeah, horror games, horror films, just general horror. Unfortunately, most horror offerings are piss poor. However, this game, Little Nightmares, looks to be a delight for horror, puzzle and platformer fans alike, combining all three disciplines into what looks to be an unsettling romp through some horrible nightmare world filled with foul creatures and malformed butchers. But I, for one, welcome this fresh hell. I needed new pants anyway.
Dauntless is a co-op action RPG with third-person hack-and-slash style combat. The alpha combat that has been released looks a little sluggish, but hopefully will be sped up before the release. The devs are ex-BioWare, so Dragon Age, Mass Effect, that kind of thing, a good history of RPG development, and the game seems to have Dark Souls and Monster Hunter leanings, with enemies looking to be tall, huge, hulking creatures, as opposed to little packs of wolves or goblins. The trailer shows 4 adventurers, so that kind of leads me to believe that maybe they're aiming for 4 people to be in a party. What better way to bond with friends than by maiming a giant monster and using its skin to fashion you and your companions some nice new armour? Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice is a Viking demon-y hack and slash with incredible visuals and some cool tech behind it. The main character seems to have schizophrenia, which will deeply impact the story, wrestling with her own madness as well as the horrible demon creatures she has to fight. I really like the dark visuals and the kind of dark fantasy grotesque enemies, and basically Vikings plus demons plus melee equals what's not to like.
Do you like turn-based games? Do you like apocalypses? Apocalypse? Then Overland might be just what you're looking for. This charming indie title has you travelling across a barren America trying your best to survive the waste in turn-based combat scenarios against various beasties. Keep your merry band of survivors alive by scavenging the land, or perhaps if you've taken a dislike to one person in particular, send them on a fool's errand into a nest of enemies and laugh as the rest of your survivors enjoy extra rations for the night. Prey.
The game seems like a pretty cool looking sci-fi FPS with some fairly unique mechanics to solving puzzles, moving through the levels, or defeating/eluding the enemies. The story looks quite intriguing, some kind of lone survivor on a space station full of horrible aliens with weird abilities. Those abilities, however, you can learn and take advantage of, like becoming a polymorph off of Red Dwarf and pretending to be a sock or a coffee cup. The graphics look great, the story seems good, and all things being well, this will be a cracking single player game.
Guns! Helicopters, rock music, flamethrowers, it's all here. We are big fans of the previous TRIPWIRE games such as Red Orchestra and Rising Storm. It's a shooter where if you don't keep your wits about you, you will die almost instantly to any form of gunfire. Marvellous. This latest offering is upping the ante with the inclusion of helicopters to perform strafing runs on unsuspecting forest folk, as well as all the iconic guns and equipment from the Vietnam War. If you're bored of the status quo shooter, be on the lookout for this bad boy.
Ever since the dawn of MMOs, the true goal was to create a huge seamless world with thousands of users all playing within the same server. Dual Universe developers NOVAQUARK have set out to do just that. The best way to quickly describe the game is essentially a Rust, Minecraft and Space Engineers chimera game, baby. Think of it now. You and a few friends band together and build a moon base. Later, you ally with another group and overthrow a local trade port. The following week, you betray your new allies, stealing all their riches and irreparably damaging their ships as you escape into the vast reaches of space. Alternatively, you could join a giant conglomerate and cooperate with hundreds of other players to build a megacity, a beacon of hope for all those in need of shelter and sanctuary. The point is that Dual Universe hopes to offer a truly massively multiplayer game with constantly evolving, persistent gameplay.
I'll be honest, I've watched the trailer for Pyre a few times and I've read all about it, but I still don't quite understand what the bloody hell is going on, other than it looks great. From the guys who brought you Bastion and Transistor comes another ultra-stylish looking fantastical game with more imagination than the John Lennon song Imagine. Essentially, the game has you trying to guide some down-on-their-luck exiles from a mystical purgatory world by taking part in an ancient form of magical basketball, which will grant their freedom somehow. It looks wonderful. And that's it! I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, of course, leave us a like and comment below with your thoughts on any of the games. Or, indeed, if you can think of any more hidden gems coming out in 2017, just tell us, go on. Thank you, and good night.